Good morning everyone, welcome to Crypto and Stock Market HQKH. Global News Update, Iran talks, Ukraine diplomacy, wildfires and shipping risks July 28, 2026. Here are the 8 major international developments you need to know. 1. Oman proposes a new plan for the Strait of Hormuz. 2. Zelenskyy prepares for critical meeting with Trump. 3. France and Spain battle massive wildfires. 4. Extreme rainfall causes destruction across Asia. 5. Shipping improves in the Red Sea but Hormuz traffic remains low. 6. Hundreds of Boeing aircraft may require safety inspections. 7. Former Israeli officials raise concerns about West Bank violence. 8. China faces pressure to adopt a new growth model. 1. Oman proposes a new plan for the Strait of Hormuz. A potentially important diplomatic initiative is emerging in the Middle East. The plan would introduce voluntary fees to support navigation safety, environmental protection, and search and rescue services similar to arrangements used in the Strait of Malacca. Oman has reportedly presented Iran with a proposal to establish a jointly managed regional mechanism for the Strait of Hormuz. The proposal would prevent any single country from exercising exclusive control over this strategically important waterway. The initiative comes as the United States pauses airstrikes and holds talks with Tehran. President Donald Trump described the discussions as positive but warned that military action could resume if negotiations fail.
Look, we're talking to them right now. I think they're getting more and more serious as the days go by.
And because the Strait of Hormuz previously handled approximately 1/5 of global energy supplies, progress or failure in these negotiations could significantly influence oil prices, inflation and global financial markets. 2. Zelenskyy prepares for critical meeting with Trump. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is expected to meet U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House as Washington considers stronger sanctions against Russia. The U.S. Senate is reportedly preparing to vote on legislation that could impose tariffs of up to 100% on goods from the largest purchasers of Russian oil and gas. The meeting is also expected to address Ukraine's urgent need for air defense systems and cooperation with the United States on drone production. The diplomatic stakes have increased following Ukraine's reported attack on an Iranian vessel in the Caspian Sea. But Iran claims the ship was commercial, while Ukrainian representatives alleged it was transporting military equipment to Russia. This development shows how the wars involving Ukraine and Iran are becoming increasingly interconnected. 3. France and Spain battle massive wildfires. Firefighters in France and Spain are racing to contain major wildfires before another intense heatwave worsens conditions. French President Emmanuel Macron warned that the coming weeks would be extremely difficult. A major fire in the Landes area was reportedly brought under control, but officials said it remained dangerous and required continued vigilance. In Spain, Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez warned the public to prepare for difficult hours as temperatures rise again. According to reports, approximately 60,000 people have been forced to leave their homes or temporary accommodation in Spain, while around 220,000 have been displaced in France. Thousands of people were also evacuated from campsites near Bordeaux. 4. Extreme rainfall causes destruction across Asia. Communities across several parts of Asia are confronting destructive rainfall, flash floods and typhoons. Reports indicate that extreme weather has affected areas stretching from Afghanistan to Taiwan, damaging homes, disrupting transportation, and forcing families to evacuate. Scientists and environmental observers continue to warn that warmer atmospheric and ocean conditions can intensify rainfall and increase the destructive power of severe weather events. The latest disasters underline the urgent need for stronger early warning systems, resilient infrastructure, and international cooperation on climate adaptation. 5. Shipping improves in the Red Sea, but Hormuz traffic remains low. Commercial shipping through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait has shown signs of recovery amid hopes of progress in U.S.-Iran negotiations. Shipping data reportedly recorded 28 vessel crossings on July 27, the highest level in 4 days. 12 vessels entered the Red Sea, including 4 oil tankers. However, activity through the Strait of Hormuz remained extremely limited, with only 6 commodity-carrying vessels recorded. The figures suggest that shipping companies remain cautious. Continued disruption could raise transportation and insurance costs while placing additional pressure on oil markets and global supply chains. 6. Hundreds of Boeing aircraft may require safety inspections. A new aviation safety concern has emerged in the United States. The U.S. aviation regulator has warned that 453 American-registered Boeing 737 MAX aircraft may require inspections because of possible problems involving passenger seats. Authorities have not said that every aircraft contains a defect. However, the warning could lead airlines to conduct precautionary checks to ensure that seat components meet safety requirements. Travelers should follow updates from airlines and aviation regulators, particularly if inspections begin affecting flight schedules. 7. Former Israeli officials raise concerns about West Bank violence. Hundreds of former Israeli security and diplomatic officials have reportedly urged President Trump to pressure Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over escalating settler violence in the occupied West Bank. The appeal comes after deadly attacks, property destruction, closures, and arrests around Palestinian communities. The former officials warned that continuing violence could deepen instability and threaten Israel's long-term security. The subject is expected to receive further attention during Netanyahu's visit to Washington, where discussions will also cover Iran and wider regional security. 8. China faces pressure to adopt a new growth model. China's economy is showing signs of recovery, but significant structural challenges remain. Recent analysis points to approximately 4.3% economic growth and improving industrial profits. However, household consumption remains weak, private investment is declining, and the economy continues to depend heavily on exports and government-led investment. China also faces continuing pressure from its property sector downturn and weak business confidence. Future reforms supporting private companies, household income, and higher productivity industries could influence not only China's recovery but also global trade, commodity demand, and international markets. Those are the major international developments shaping the world today. Diplomatic negotiations may be creating a possible path away from further conflict, but serious risks remain, from wars and disrupted shipping routes to wildfires, extreme weather, and economic uncertainty. Which of today's stories do you believe will have the greatest global impact? Share your opinion in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next update. On behalf of our team, we wish you a wonderful day filled with love, happiness, and prosperity.